It's Rhonda from Joy Junktique, and I'm so happy you're here today. I have a project that I am so excited to show you. A little while back, Jenifer from A Trace of Sparkle asked me if I would make something with her Christmas kit. It's called Vintage Pirouette Christmas, and it's gorgeous, so pretty. She did a collaboration with Lynnae from Grace and Lay's Journals, and it is a tribute to Lynnae's mother, who was a ballerina. I put so much heart and soul into this, so much love. So I hope it shows in everything as I go through it. I'm just really proud of it, and I hope that you just can appreciate all the work that went into the digitals too, because you can tell Jenifer put a lot of love into those too. So I'm just going to get started. I'll just get these out of the way really quick. This is one of the big tags that she made, and I love the shape, I love the size, everything about it. And on the back is also a picture that is really pretty. So I put two tags together back to back, and then just added a little piece of that snowy tulle. Y'all probably have gotten tired of seeing this snowy tulle in all my projects, but it has just added just the perfect little delicate element to everything. So I'm still using it. So there's that, and then I had this little bracelet that I have saved, trying to figure out what to do with. I ended up printing one of the sheets on vellum. I had a little scrap piece left from the inside covers that I lined with that vellum. So this was what was left, and I just took it and put it into this little circle. Just glued it to the back, cut it the shape, and glued it to the back. And then I added this tiny little rhinestone of a necklace, and a little piece of cream glitter fabric, and then some more of that little tulle, and a little pearl on the hanger there on the ribbon. So that's just a little something I had extra I thought would just be really pretty with it. So I'll move those out of the way. And this, I just have to tell you, there is so much layering and detail in this. So I knew when I saw the kit, when I looked at the images and saw just how pretty and how delicate it was, I knew that I would finally have a chance to use these sweet little doll shoes, but they look like little ballerina slippers. So I have saved those forever, and I just thought this would be the perfect little project for it. So I'll show you the back to kind of explain what the base is. I had two big cardboard white circles, and you can purchase those, I believe, on Amazon. So it looks like they're 5-inch circles. But I had this piece, I had several of these pieces, and if you'll notice, they're flat here. They're straight on the edge. So I could just see that as part of a cover for a book. And then I also had this other little piece that's behind here, this little crocheted doily, and it was connected. So there you go, there's your spine. So that is the base. I have the two cardboard circles, and then I layered the crocheted pieces to create the cover. So here I have just this tiny little beaded dangle, and it's actually tied to the strings that were hanging from the crocheted doily. So I don't know if you can see there where they finished it up, and this was hanging. So I just decided to use those little threads to hang this sweet little dangle. And so then I went from there and just started using the digitals and layering, and this is what I ended up with. And I just love it. I love this image that I used for the front. It's just so perfect. And I cut out little tiny pieces of the holly leaves and just placed them little tiny bit here and there underneath. I added the tulle under there. I added some little embossed trim here that had been done on coffee dyed cardstock. I used one of the background pages and cut out this little piece. So it goes from here and all the way up here. I don't know if you can see that good. Let me go ahead and untie where you can see. I just used some of this really soft pink sari silk ribbon. And it just wraps around like this. I just attached it underneath there to this little rhinestone bow that went perfectly with the designs in her kit. So now maybe you can see it. It's this whole little piece right here. I just used a die that I had that is actually for lining an envelope, but it went perfectly there just to add another layer. And so these sweet little shoes, and if you'll notice, I lined the inside with embossed paper too, just to give them a little finished look, add a little bit more detail in there. I had this sweet little pink rose, and then this is one of the bows out of the kit, and I have this little tiny tag die, so I just attached it to that. And then I have a whole necklace of these, and the inside was missing out of this one. There's supposed to be a pearl in there, but that little picture, the little face of one of the digitals that you'll see in the kit, was the perfect size for this. So I just layered some little tulle under there and glued that down. So that can be removed from the front cover. Just kind of sits there. So this I glued just to be a little tuck spot for that tag. And so as we look at the book, I'll show you this angle. There's just layer after layer. She got a little chunky, but when you see inside, you'll realize why. And I like the little glitter peeping out on the edges of that coffee dyed ruffle. And then here, I didn't want the paper to just be sticking out to get bent or torn. So I just took a little bit of this little, I'm not sure what this is called, but it's really stiff fabric and it's pleated. And so I just bunched up a little piece and put under there that I could glue that to kind of protect that little bit sticking out there. All right, so as we open the book, this is the first page, and I loved this, and I wanted that to be the opening of the book. So in this little, I made a little pocket with this really pretty little fabric that has little beads sewn into it. I didn't have much left of it, but I had just enough for the front and back cover to make pockets. So here I have a tiny little glassine envelope that I just folded down, and it unties. And this is one of the little stars I made from way back when I did the embossed and did the foil, the cheap foil. So I can link that video below. And I will also link Jenifer at A Trace of Sparkle and Lynnae from Grace and Lace. I will link their videos that show the details of the kit too. And of course Jenifer's shop. But here I just have a tiny little flower that the little envelope can close with. And inside is all those little circles, or some of them. It's not all of them, but there's just little tiny circles of ephemera. See, there's the little holly. But they're just so sweet. So those are all just tucked into this little, and I love her. Those are all just tucked into this little glassine envelope. And that ties and goes back in that pocket. Here I have the other little bit bigger tags in the kit, and I just glued those back to back too. And there's also a tiny little hidden pocket that you could slip something into. So that goes in there. So I'll show you the detail on this. Really, really pretty. And so I had these dies that cut out, you know, different circle shapes that are just have a really pretty edge on them. So I did 2 of them back to back there with coffee dyed paper. And so that's the base of that page. So I had to put fabric here to join it to the other side of the page so that I would have something to stitch through. So we have that, and then as you open this side, this can untie and this snowflake will come out. But I also have this sweet little cutout stuck right down in there. I thought she looked pretty there. I put a little bit of the tulle behind there, behind the snowflake, just to add a little more dimension to it and to soften it. And then here, I absolutely love this postcard. And so it just tucks back behind this little bow. And here is some embossed stars on this coffee dyed cardstock. Here's one of the images from the kit. I just love it. It's so pretty. And then on the back, I just used the collage page on the back of it. So that slides back down in here. And on this side, I made a pocket with one of the images. And then I took and cut this one out and added the smaller bow with a little rhinestone and some tulle. And there's the back of that. I love this background she has. That so it's on a lot of the backs of everything. And then this was a piece that I did on vellum and cut with one of my dies. Has the little stars in it too. And this was another die that I used for that page. And I made a little pocket here. And so this is a tag from one of the paper kits that Jenifer, she actually dyes and uses the mica powder and sells a whole kit of papers and tags in her shop. So this is one of the kits I had bought from her. So I just added a little bit of trim here, and the tiny little tags are stuck down in here. So just added the tiny little rhinestone, the little charm that dangles outside of the book. And then here is one of the images, and I left it as a pocket to house that little tag. And then I just put some plain tulle here and a little rhinestone. Very elegant. Now I love the texture and the sound that you get from the tracing paper when you coffee dye it. So I just tore the edges of that so I could get a really pretty distress on the edge. And then this was one of SamPoole's doily dies. So I glued that to the middle of it. And then I wanted a little place to journal because I know it's not got a whole lot of writing space in it. It does have a lot of journaling tags that you can write on the back of. But I wanted to include a few little sheets of paper here and there. So I have some coffee dyed paper in here. That's the center of that signature. There's 2 signatures in this. And then this is a piece from one of the other pages. It's part of the poinsettia. Really pretty. And so I made a pocket out of it. And then I fussy cut this one just as another tag. This page I left plain because I love the design on it. This page I have another doily die that I cut out. And then I added a really pretty snowflake there. And then here, I fussy cut this tree out. So I just put this in here to add some interest. It's just a little pearl pick. And then here's a piece from one of the pages. And I wanted to make sure that I included it somewhere. So it's just another little journaling spot. It's very, very pretty. And so now you can see the tree better. I just fussy cut around that tree and made it a little tuck spot. So that'll tuck right back in there. Along with this little pick. Like that. And so here I have one of the tatting doilies that I thought was perfect because one of the pages has the doily that's like this. And then I wanted to not waste any of the little pieces. So here's a little piece of music. Here's a little ballerina slippers. This little tag, I accidentally punched the hole upside down, but you know, make the most of it. And I just added a little charm and another little piece of tulle hanging at the bottom. And then there's another little piece. So all this just stacked and are pinned here with a little bulb pin. And then this is another piece from one of the pages that I wasn't going to waste. So it tucks back here. Now I love this. I had no idea that when I put this little doily on this page, it would look like a Christmas tree. But the more I played with it, I realized it was the perfect little Christmas tree. So I just added this sweet little pearl trim and made my little garland, and then I added one of the little fussy cut bows and a tiny little piece of tulle at the top there. So I just think that's precious. And here's another little envelope that she made in the kit. So this actually is an envelope. I just have the flap glued to the page that it's joined to in the back. So this is the start of the second signature. Here's another little piece of that embossed trim. And I just love this. I think she's so pretty. So then on this side, I added another little bow right there. And then I made, it has the pocket here, but I wanted a double pocket. So I added a little embossed piece here. And that way I can slip something behind here too. So there's one of those little framed images that's so pretty. And then here, I decided to take the little tags and put them all together. So there's this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. So those just all are wrapped in this little tulle. And they slip into this pocket here. Very sweet. And I just added that little glitter tulle. I'm not sure what you call that. It has sequins in it. And this page I made with my heart cut out. And I used this little tag here. Added a little snowflake to the top. My little magnolia doohickey dye Christmas tree out of some music paper I had. And then I added a little pocket here. So then the snowflake comes out. I don't know if you can see the glitter on it. The little glisten. So both sides are done. And that tucks right back in there. So on this side, I did both sides with that snowflake. And then this is another one of the tags. And I just added a little piece of lace. A little bit of tulle. And here's another tag. This image is really pretty. So I used another one of my little die cuts. Makes it a frame. And I tucked into this pocket another one of those little tags that Jenifer had made. And I added a little piece of tulle here and one of those little fussy cut bows. And more of that little trim. And then here I added the little rhinestone dangle. So this page I decided just to leave plain in case you want to add anything to it. I actually coffee dyed these, but also had sprinkled the cinnamon on them. So you get this really little dotted effect with the cinnamon. So I thought it turned out pretty. You could always take and I almost did that, but I left it plain in case someone wants to personalize it. But you could always add these little tags here, really cute. On this side is that really pretty image, that same ballerina. And this is another doily die cut by SamPoole, and I just love that it's all tattered. So I didn't make a pocket here. I just let it be solid because these are kind of delicate. And so I added the coffee dyed filter here with the glitter on it. And then on this side, you can still see the coffee filter. And this is attached to that another vellum piece. And I fussy cut out the little holly with the bow. And then I put this tag in there. And so here's that die cut again. I made some music pages. And more little journaling spots here. And here's another piece of vellum that I just left plain. And here's a piece of embossed coffee dyed paper that I had left over from something. Thought it would be pretty there with this lace. And so in this pocket, I have two little pieces that I had left over from one of the pages that I'd printed on cardstock. And it's really pretty. Even has a little script on there. So I just used my little tag punch and made tags out of it. And then added these two little fussy cut bows and a tiny little piece of that beaded trim again. So those slip down into this pocket. And then on this side, I have this tiny little paper clip that holds this little envelope onto this doily that I cut out. And I also sprinkled it with cinnamon too. And I just doubled them when I did this so that the page would be good and sturdy. So the little envelope I had clipped to it, they're just so sweet. And so inside of it I have some more of those little frame tags. So that just clips back onto here. Like that. And then on this page, it's the other side of that heart. And I have another piece of vellum here that I had used one of my doily dies on. Can you tell I like doilies? I have lots of dies for doilies because I just love them. And here's the little piece of ephemera. This is another one of my Magnolia doohickey dies, the little trim. And so I just put it at an angle and put that little piece of tulle there to keep it from sliding through. This is actually one of my own vintage photos that I have. And it's the sweetest little ballerina girl. I love her. Here's another one of those hearts that I had cut out with the background page. And I just added some more of that little trim here. And so she slides right there. And down in between the heart, I left a pocket. And I used a piece of one of the tags and just cut it down to fit. So that slips back in here. And then here is another postcard from the kit that I used on the back side of that envelope I was telling you about. So that's just glued to the flap. And then this is the back side of, that I had printed on that collaged paper. So here's the back cover with that other piece of beaded tulle that I made a pocket out of. And another one of these tags, front and back. It also has a tiny little pocket. And so, I don't know if I told you in the front, but this is the other piece that I had printed on vellum. And so this and this was from the same sheet, and I just put them on that white cardboard circle, and so I think it worked perfect. And I just love the crochet trim around the edges. I just think it turned out so pretty. So Jenifer, I appreciate you asking me to create something with this, because it has so blessed me by being able to do this, and I just really loved it. So I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, and that you get to have lots and lots of joy, make lots of memories. And as we go through Christmas and the holidays, just think of how blessed we are. And I just pray that God will just bless each of you in a special way. Well, thank y'all so much for being here with me. It means the world to me. And I just hope that you all have lots of joy this Christmas season. I will see you in the next video. And I love y'all. God bless.